From the Excel document to the Steam library, it's time for the Nerd Show.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because now here comes the fun bit, the testy bit. Because worryingly, the website, which shows me how it's playing, say it's on NSR's auto playlist. However, according to the thing, I'm talking. So I'm going to need some communication back from the 3 listeners I know. Am I there? Because if not... Yes, it is! Thank you! And welcome back to the Nerd Show. Thank you, Shaq, as always, the man himself, manager of all my activities, is being as awesome as ever. Anyway, hello, welcome back. It's been about, 6 months since I've sat down and done one of these. This is coming from my apartment, so sorry if you can hear any background badoodah whatsits and all the usual rubbish from my comfy chair. Some of you have seen this if you've actually checked out my Twitch channel, which has appeared. I would have a jingle to give to you, but it's been a busy week for me. Anyway, before I go into too long ramblings, it's time for the tunes, which will all hopefully work. This is The Coral and Dreaming of You in Isolation.
What's up with my heart when it skips a beat? Can't feel no pavement right under my feet. Up in my lonely room when I'm dreaming of you. Oh, what can I do? I still need you, but I don't want you now. When I'm down and my hands are tied, I cannot reach a pen for me to draw the line. Chronic pain I just can't disguise. It's gonna hurt, but I'll have to say goodbye. Up in my lonely room when I'm dreaming of you. Oh, what can I do? I still need you, but I don't want you now. Up in my lonely room when I'm dreaming of you. Oh, what can I do? I still need you, but I don't want you now.
You've tuned into the Nerd Show, and you might hear something good if you...
Stay a while and listen.
Hey everyone, sorry about the big clatter there. You know, I had a fold-up chair, and it decided to hit the floor midway through a song, which is an absolute amazing part of doing home shows, as your entire world falls apart around you, just like everyone else. Anyway, I thought I'd just give you all a brief rundown of what actually has happened with NSR. I, the now head of tech, get me, I mean, it makes sense. I'm the only person who's got enough nerdiness on this station to do one. Everyone else is arts grads, and there's just me as the physicist, like, technology. Anyway, I have been put in charge of trying to manage this change to this software. The problem is I find this software pretty restrictive. I can't mute myself, like we're saying. Anyway, I could rant about this software for hours and probably shouldn't. But yes, I am head of tech, and in other news, of the events of everything I did last year, the show, and doing fight nights, which I talked about, to the extremities last year, if you check all the archives. And, obviously we won't be doing them this year, sadly. I'm already doing the ums and ers. The old bits of the Nerd Show are back. Anyway, I was awarded runner-up, sadly, of Best Newcomer to NSR for last year, which has this great little quote explaining the Nerd Show from the then Deputy Station Manager.
Where he talks all thing nerd, his words, not mine.
So that's now made it in as a jingle. So if you hear that from time to time, I need to probably fill it into a whole jingle rather than just a sound clip, but, you know, expect it. Anyway, let's talk about the Nerd Show itself. Doing these from home is going to be fun. I can't do all the fun little technical bits I normally do. As you can know, no background music, which is one of the reasons I'm struggling to keep pushing, and I'm gambling my words, which, as we all know, I should stop doing. I'll slow it down. It's still scared of dead air. Anyway, master of gambling. Anyway, the plan is to have... So the themes we did at the beginning of last year, make that about half a show, which means I actually have to write something for the shows. And then, of course, This Week in Geek and the last 15 minutes of Panic, which will probably just me divulging bits of information as always. Anyway, like I said, we're supposed to have themes for the shows. And if we're going to have themes for a show and we're going to have a section, that means a jingle, right?
The Nerd Show presents Theme of the Week. One lockdown later.
Yeah, no, I'm not making an individual one for each one. I'm just doing the overviews for myself. So yes, the theme of this week, unsurprisingly, is, well, everything that's happened in about the 6 to 8 months we've been offline, and hasn't a fair bit. Well, arguably not. Like, you know, we've all been locked down into these messes, trying to not pick up the nasty, which is fair enough. Nobody wants the nasty, and it's important no one gets the nasty. Let me just power off my phone so you don't get loads of notifications in the background. Okay, so, I mean, really it's the absence of stuff that in nerd culture that's been a thing for the last, 6, 8 months. Movie releases have all been curtailed, and they're still being curtailed. We still have another Bond film, which I remember talking about being delayed all that time ago. The huge thing in nerdom that's been massive, it's been absolutely huge, is Animal Crossing, funnily enough, which I honestly had points of why has it not become a meme that Nintendo set up the coronavirus just for more people to buy Animal Crossing. I know it's kind of insensitive, but it's just a kind of thing that hit me. Like, they've accidentally timed the game to perfection there, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. On the subject of games which have been curtailed and changed about with, or just games in lockdown. Right at the end, which probably could have gone This Week in Geek, but I think it's probably a week too late, we got yet another delay to Cyberpunk, which, for people who don't know, has been a game... How long have we been waiting for that to come out now? Jacques will probably put it in the messages that I put on the next song. The next 3 to 4 years. Anyway, it'll eventually arrive, and it'll eventually be huge. Well, by the time it's... Well, actually, given how long we've been waiting for it, by the time it comes out, it will feel like a last-gen game. Anyway... On the subject of huge raves of video game talking, which I bet everyone's been playing a lot of. That's not good. My dashboard's been paused. I'm guessing that's because I've not touched it. Still playing about with all the tech. Anyway, on the subject of, video game stuff, and which I've been playing a huge amount of, we have Savan Stevens' video game, which got big over isolation, and I think that's because it ended up on TikTok, which sadly means they probably didn't even get the money for you. But they're getting the money now. This is Sam James. Already first failed artist name. Savjan Stevens, and video game.
chaser. I don't want it to go down that way, but in a way you gotta follow the procedure. So go ahead and play your video game. I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play your video game. I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play your video game. I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play your video game. I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play, I don't wanna play your video game.
So for Jan Stevens and video game, like I said, got big over the summer. It does everything I like a song to do, sounds awesome, and also makes good references to other good songs. Absolute banger there. As always, thanks to Jack for, I was about to say emailing in or texting in, but what is this? This isn't proper radio. This is weird radio. Discording in, because of course the Nerd Show. The Cyberpunk was first teased in 2013. So 7 years ago. The fact that any game is teased long before it's even started development, cough, Metroid Prime 4, cough, is slightly disgusting to me, to be honest. Being able to pre-order games, especially being able to pre-order games at that distance is blah. Anyway, the initial release date was April, which then got pushed to September, then November, and now for December. If they're still having to push it back, that does make you think that, these games will never come out. There's always games like this. There's always seems to be one anyway. Anyway, I've successfully gone to what is supposed to be half a level of show. I mean, I didn't do any research for this week, probably because this last week of school has been pretty tough. We've had a couple of assignments in, so it's been a pretty rough one. But, physics is always going to be hard. It's physics. What did I expect? But we've got Enrichment Week this week, which, if you've ever, Enrichment Week is a term that schools have always used as a break day, always used it as a kind of way of getting away with not having to do anything. Like at high school, the last 2 days of school were called enrichment activities or enrichment days, which is an excuse to send us all off to Pleasurewood Hills. So at university, I guess it's supposed to be to go to the pub, but, we can't do that. So we might actually enrich ourselves. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. Oh, where's the Nerd Show? What did you expect? That needs to be a jingle, actually. Okay, stop planning stuff. Considering we're going through stuff ridiculously early, we might as well bring the new sounding classic jingle. That is... You're listening to the Nerd Show, and it's time for This Week in Geek. That one never gets old. I like how also we've got both the main jingles and now GameCube games. We did have Smash Ball for the opening. If you know, I've just changed it to Melee, which means we're going backwards in time. I don't know what that means for the show, and I couldn't think of a better one for this. If people have got jingle ideas, as always, I love to hear them. I love making jingles. It means I'm not putting work into research. Anyway, this week has been one hell of a week for Geek. Partly due to the fact the two big consoles are coming out now. I think they're both out as of this week. I think the Xbox came out a bit earlier, or maybe they're all still in giving out a few samples of the PS5 rather than the full thing. No, I'm pretty sure the full thing got released in the recent. Anyway, that's had some downloading issues, the PS5, due to how large the game files are, which is kind of crazy that we've got to this point. Also, just, play on PC. Anyway, the more fun bit of the console war going on at the moment is the Xbox Series X, which is the new one, which, if you've seen all the memes, is the one that looks like a fridge, and I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the radio thing where you hold your arms up to explain something, and then you just no one can see you, so you just look like an idiot. Anyway, because of how it's set up and how the fan is, and it draws from the bottom, I believe, through the bottom of the device up to the top. People have been making it look like it's smoking by vaping underneath their Xbox Series X, and the vape particles have coming out the top to make it look like it's smoking, to kick up this whole thing about it not working, which I think is funny. I mean, I guess it's kind of funny. It's an interesting design flaw, almost, so it kicks particles up like that. It makes me worry that it could lead to if on use. Yeah, but you're getting hold of them really hard. That's also true. It's just, Jacques, just get on the show. Next week we'll just make sure Jacques is on the show and it'll just be the two of us talking. Don't drink tea while live on radio, you fool. Especially don't spill it on yourself. Sorry about that. Yes, so both consoles are pretty hard to get, partly because in-person stores are mostly closed and probably levels of production are lower. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting new console generation for the big two. On the subject of console generations, there is a surprising third party which has pricked my ears up as a bit of a lover of the retro. Atari, do you remember them? Atari are releasing their own console PC hybrid, as they put it, called the Atari VCS, which I'm assuming is just even more trying to be retro. But from what I've seen of it, it looks like a smart TV device with kind of just a bit more gaming, and a lot of that being classic Atari games. There's 50 for free, including Missile Commander, Star Rider, and of course Pong, just what you need. I don't think it's going to be huge. I think it's mostly designed for hipsters and, people of the age who were into the Atari console, but, didn't really continue into gaming or even tech that much, but just want to live a bit of their childhood again, which is a cool thing, This is the only problem with Shaq. He then predicts my moves. Also coming out this week is the new Game & Watch with the Mario series, which again is in the box of pretty expensive Christmas gifts. I'd say both of these are. That's the problem. Both of these devices are really kind of just trying to get into a niche, especially the new Super Mario Game & Watch. For those who don't know, Game & Watch was Nintendo's first set of consoles, but they only played one game each, so they were kind of like pocket devices. They were basically calculator level of engineering and processing power. So they've now released one which has the original Super Mario Bros. On it, and it looks nice, but it's only going to be for the most hardcore and crazy of collectors. Also, in the week, we have had some news, pretty sure this was last week. I'm pretty sure it is out. As you can tell, I may have scraped a huge amount of this show together at the last minute. Shock horror. It's the Nerd Show, what did you expect? Because of how busy my week's been, so it's just been blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that Fallout 76 is getting more free DLC with the return of the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, I, over lockdown, got massively into Fallout New Vegas, which I then failed to show anybody my love of. That's the good one. That's the good 3D Fallout, because it wasn't made by Bethesda. Which, I've just remembered, I didn't put that in the one lockdown later, which is huge news for the Nerd Show, which was overall this time, Bethesda, the studio behind Skyrim and the Fallout series, so big RPGs, as well as Wolfenstein, were bought by Microsoft, which is just going to mean Microsoft's going to have more first-party exclusives for PC and, for their PC store, probably, and their console. Now, stuff they're currently working on, which was Elder Scrolls 6, will probably still... Well, if Elder Scrolls 6 ever happens, that goes in the same box as Cyberpunk for me, anyway. Anyway, I'm running out of steam. Yes, basically, that's happened. That's huge news. We're likely to lose access to a lot of games, and things are going to get more isolated between consoles again, which could be interesting. Makes you wonder if PS5 is going to be able to survive without many big iconic names on that lineup. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be a strange new console war, and Nintendo's going to watch the sideline with their hybrid console. Anyway, I think it's time for another song, because I've rambled on long enough. But as always, it is a tradition after This Week in Geek, even if we pop it early, like I have. Ridiculously early. We're not even going to fill the hour, ladies and gentlemen. It's that bad. To do the song, I can't remember what was the section called? It's been this long since I've done the show. I can't even tell you what the section was called. Gaming Song of the Week. I think something along those lines. Anyway, yesterday, the fabulous Game Chops dropped Zelda and Chill 2. Sadly, not Electric Boogaloo. If you've never heard any of Zelda and Chill 1, I don't think I've played it on it, because it came out a while ago. Anyway, they're great remixes of great Zelda tunes, and here is one that is very close to my heart, It's Minder's Llamet from Twilight Princess, remixed nicely. I know Mum's gonna start cringing, but just let it relax and let it go.
Hey guys, you've tuned into The Nerd Show.
Probably the oddest thing in the universe.
You're telling me... Oh, no, you're not telling me. That's not beautiful. That is amazing. As always, I have not actually listened to the whole of the new Zelda and Chill 2 yet, but as soon as I saw that song was in there, I knew it would be good. It's a classic. Twilight Princess is such a beautiful game, and I could go on about it for hours, because it was probably the first proper game I played. Anyway, as always, to make up for the gaming tune, I have to do the other keystone section of the show, just as they tuned in, because they were having troubles getting in. It's time for what's playing in my mum's car. I need to make a jingle for that. I said I was going to make a jingle last year for that. I will make a jingle for that in the next week, maybe. Anyway, on this week, normally Mum gives me a long explanations for stuff, but we haven't got one this time. So instead, apart from the fact she got it from a second-hand shop in Wisbech, which well, it's an explanation for this. Anyway, we have The Cult and Love Removal Machine. I've been advised that you play it loud. I won't do, because I don't want to mess with the sound settings. This is a complicated mess as it is. Anyway, let's hit it.
seem to be listening to The Nerd Show, only on NSR.
Now, I'm always surprised when I use those old jingles. You can't hear more of the hiss of the band microphone that I used to be using. I mean, some of them you can. If I turn them up, you definitely could. That one, I'm pretty sure you can hear a vacuum going on in the background. Maybe if you've got good headphones, you could hear it anyway. Now, okay, so, one, I hadn't heard that song all the way through beforehand. That's a tune. I love it. I only heard about the first 30 seconds when getting ready for the show and went, yeah, okay, I need to put more rocky stuff in for after it. So we've got more rocky stuff ready for after it. Fabulous. Number 2 I've completely forgotten what number 2 was. How do I do this? Oh, that's it. I seem to have done the Nerd Show classic and rattled through my talking points in the first half an hour and not touched the music. So this now basically means I have to talk about random stuff for the next half an hour, which is fine, I guess. So I guess the easiest thing for me to talk about is my lockdown. The main thing I've been doing nerdy-wise, and I won't over-advertise this. Hold up, give me a second. It's the problem, I can't even cough off the microphone without it all just sounding like a mess, if you know what I mean. It's just gonna... Anyway, the main thing I've been doing over lockdown is I've been doing my own Twitch streaming with the help of Jacques himself, the man who also records all this stuff and is here and is... Yeah, go on. Here.
Hey!
Check out all episodes of The Nerd Show on YouTube at bit.ly/The Nerd Show.
Also, stay tuned for some highlights of bloopers and mistakes the big man himself makes.
You know, that's where you can find the archive, if you didn't know. I'm pretty sure I know who's listening, and everyone here is either mostly listening to the archive. Anyway, you know, the first one. Me and him doing a lot of the paperwork, well, not paperwork, technical work, have been streaming over the summer. I highly recommend you check them out. I've taken a bit of a break for the last week, but we're going to roll back into it with the power of Enrichment Week, which, as we all know, is a bit of a week off. But not really, I've got a fair bit to do. But we can, you know, work around it. Anyway, apart from that, my lockdown's been pretty good. I've been playing a wide variety of games. A lot of AAA, well, older, heavy stuff that I wanted to play. New Vegas, like I said. Amazing plot, though... Oh, you have to keep... Yeah, there's so much going on. There is so much going on. RPGs are always like this. The other big deal over my lockdown was the Metal Gear Solid franchise, funnily enough. That's why I used the snake sound to get into this section. Been trying to play both 3 and 5, and have yet to beat either of them, because they get a bit repetitive. It's just sneak around, find some guards, choke them out, find some more guards, choke them out, yeah, repeat, rinse and repeat. And what else? Well... a lot of Minecraft, and a lot of Minecraft. I imagine that's actually been quite common over lockdown, the number of people returning to that game. Just because it's the very replayability of it. It's a good one. Anyway, enough of me rambling. As always, like I said, this bit is just the show-filling bit, where I have to panic and put stuff on. But hey, at least I'm not normal. And on the subject, this is Spectre, and when did we get so normal?
Another marriages, waiting in for packages. Now I know what average is. Now I'm one of them. More reminisce than S&M. Two can dine for news at 10. Voucher for my requiem. Now I'm one of them. When did we get so normal? I thought that we were immortal. We started going to Cornwall. Oh, when did we get so normal? When did we get so normal? I thought that we were immortal. I thought that we were a war. Oh, when did we get so normal? 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 When did we get
Songs that end abruptly are slightly rubbish for radio, especially when one is out of jingles. I might actually make a jingle just for that, just like this is the emergency jingle, almost as a joke. Anyway, when we get so normal by the Spectre, I've been bashing my head out to that. That sentence didn't come out how I wanted it to. I've been head banging to that for quite a bit of my lockdown. It's been quite a nice one. Anyway, the lack of background music to be able to switch it on because of the setup. I could, but it would require me then having to play a song, okay, put a jingle on, talk for a bit, reduce the audio. You can hear all the mouse clicks, because I don't know if you've noticed, but you can just hear me mouse click. So you'd be able to hear me frantically moving stuff around for background audio. It's almost as if we should put pre-recorded sections on. It'd be so much easier. So I know the station managers aren't listening to us. Anyway, I was talking just before the song about Twitch streaming. And one of the things as a physics student that gets me a lot is statistics. And it gives you so many statistics. But I'm not here to talk about those statistics because I'm trying to take a break from those statistics. I'm going to talk about NSR statistics. Because we're now going through this online interface, radio.co, we can see the number of listeners at any one time. And according to, I'm not going to say the number of listeners I have because it's a terrible thing to do live on air, but it's really fun and also so slightly scary because you know there's at least someone else listening, at least, you know, compared to usual radio. But hey, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's not quite poring over the hour statistics like I normally do on the Twitch channel or in actual physics where I spend far too much time poring over statistics. But hey, it's information. Information is fun. Again, jingle opportunity here. I've already gone through all of them. You don't want to hear the same ones twice. I need more jingles, as always. Anyway, that might be a jingle on its own, because that seems to be my get out of jail free card. Anyway, here, we're going to keep putting the songs on for you, partly because I didn't write enough, and also because, as always, I front load the show with talk and back load the show with songs, and yeah, trust me, this year I plan to actually get a better plan for NSR on the Nerd Show, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this is Sports Team, and here's the thing.
Here's the thing. If you're smart enough that everybody smiles. Here's the thing. If you work a little harder, you'll get by. Here's the thing. Or you can trust a man who wears a suit and tie. So just lies. Here's the thing. If your parents want to earn it, then it's yours. Here's the thing. And if you're barely getting by, then that's your fault. Here's the thing. Everything in life is fair, and that's the rules. It's all just lies. If you just close your eyes, then everything's alright. If you just close your eyes, then everything's alright. Hey, Mara wrote a song, now everything's alright. It's all just. Here's the thing. You're worth as much as all the luxury you buy. Here's the thing. The world will be okay if we stop taking flights. Here's the thing. And if you change the way you eat, you'll never die. It's all just lies. Here's the thing. Companies cover the people they employ. Here's the thing. Discrimination doesn't happen anymore. Here's the thing. Working hard, you know, it's better for your soul. It's all just lies. If you just close your eyes, then everything's alright. If you just close your eyes and everything's alright. Hey, Mara, roll a song, oh, everything's alright. It's all just, oh! Try a little harder, little bird. If you're in bed and someone else is catching worms. And if you break your little wing, you'll have to learn it's all just lies, 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 lies. Here's the thing. Jesus loves you, the football's coming home. Here's the thing. It's just a joke, you know, you'll get it when you grow. Here's the thing. Rule Britannia, you'll never walk alone. It's all just lies, lies, lies. It's all just... Having all this far is so dear Lord, I'm growing bored of condescending chit-chat. Owes no burden gold, it's guilt our fathers built the mills in which we... Oh, here's the thing, if you smile enough then everybody smiles. If you just work a little harder you'll get by. Oh, you can trust a man who has a suit and tie, it's all just lies, 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 lies. Here's the thing, if your parents want to earn it then it's yours. And if you're barely getting by then it's your fault. And everything in life is fair and that's the rules, it's all just lies, 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 lies. Oh, you want as much as any luxury you buy. The world will be okay if we stop taking flight. If you just change the way you eat you'll never die, it's all just lies, 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 lies.
Sports team, and here's the thing. That's a song that, you know, has some strong, direction to it. I like what it says. It's very, yeah. We all know why. We all know my political views. If you want to hear, this is raw, uncensored, Watson. None of that. You know, money making rubbish. Anyway, Jacques has reminded me, as always, as he does. I really should get him in on writing these shows. They're basically just for him. That I have missed a massive news topic which happened over lockdown, and it is actually a massive news topic and not just my Nintendo bias kicking in, which is it was Super Mario's I was about to say Super Mario's 35th birthday, but that doesn't really make sense. He's a fictional character, he doesn't actually have a birthday. It was the 35th anniversary since the original Super Mario Bros., which, if you were here for This Week in Geek, was why the tiny game doodah is coming out with just that single game on it and costing... I don't have the cost in front of me, and I can't research it. This is the hardest part about doing this show, because if I research it, you can hear me typing away during a song, and it ruins the song, so I've got to actually do my research in advance, so if I come up with ideas mid-show, it's just an issue, and I promised you I wouldn't complain about the setup. I've complained about the setup for most of the show. I'm sorry. Also, I said I would stop apologising, but I was apologising. Okay, we're not going in that loop circle. Anyway, 35th anniversary of Mario finally led to a re-release of... Well, I was about to say finally led to a re-release of Super Mario 64, Sunshine and Galaxy for the Switch, but like re-releases of 64 take place every generation because it's the first one. But I'd say the Galaxy and Sunshine remakes were pretty popular. Yeah, now, it has led to Nintendo doing this limited edition worrying thing. So basically, they've now decided they're only going to sell games for certain periods of time. Now, this has caused a lot of, oh no, I won't be able to get it. But, I mean, I guess you won't be able to get it from Nintendo firsthand, and it will lead to price rises. So, I guess no, it's fair issues now I think about it. I was thinking, like, you know, most games stop being printed in large numbers after about 9 months, so probably going to be that much big of a deal. But just calling it limited edition is going to raise the prices of them. So that and the re-release of the original Fire Emblem, which, you know, I guess if you're a big fan of the franchise, then yeah, I didn't like the modern one. I've tried to play some of the older ones over lockdown, and that hasn't ended well. Anyway, I've been told that it's very important we actually wrap up early for radio shows this year. I am not allowed to run over at all in any way, because if I do, my show will just cut, because this DJ booth that I'm in control of will stop. So there's going to be no more of this, me trying to squeeze over into the second hour, and I sadly can't move over an hour forward, so I am pretty restricted. But hey, right now I'm not complaining, because, you know, I'm going to have to fill in the time as it is, but that's advance warning for you. Won't be able to do any of that stuff. Anyway, another tune and then we'll hit the close of the show, because, like I said, we're actually supposed to finish 10 to 5 minutes beforehand to make sure the airways are nice and smooth. I'm not complaining. This is The Pretenders, which I know is, that kind of, but this is a tune. It's Hate for Sale. And Hate for Sale. Yeah, I thought I was going to do the talk over the outro, like, proper radio move there. Again, we have another song that just cuts. They are terrible for radio presenters. Anyway, Pretenders Hate for Sale from the album Hate for Sale. I recommend the entire album. It is full of bangers. That's their most recent work. And, yeah, it's good tune. It's tune. I only play you the best tunes. Apart from, occasionally, when I fail to do that. Anyway, so, as I say, time is upon us. We are now at the 50-minute mark, according to stream time, and I can't run over into the next one. We are pretty restricted. So I thought I'd give a few shout-outs to fellow nerds of mine who I know are putting on shows this year. If you didn't know, one of my big pushes has been to try and to vary the amount of content, so I've done it. So, at 1 p.m. on Monday, a good friend of mine, Matthew, who's going to hear this and is going to be annoyed that I can't remember his surname, has a show called Error Retrieval, which is a comedy? No, it is a comedy. It's very nicely done. He's very well written. Probably ends up being about half an hour long of very good gags. Now, the reason he's getting a nerdy shout-out is that he is going to be running, hopefully, if we can master the technology, a bit of a series of radio skits on superheroes. Like, we're going to hopefully be able to do a kind of, what's the word? Radio drama of a proper parody of superhero, comic books and the like. So that's hopefully going to take place. Hopefully, if it really goes well, yours truly is going to be doing some of the voice acting for it, which will be amazing. The other person in the chair to do voice acting, and the other show that I think desperately needs a shout out, is Elizabeth's. She is on a Tuesday, and the time is at... I really should have written that one down. Hold up. You're going to get mouse clicks, but it's important because shout outs are important. I'm sorry. I can't not get the timing right when shouting people out. That's useless. I say that. I've actually got to be able to manage the website enough. It's on a Tuesday. I know that bit. On a Tuesday at my time of 12, Time Warp Decades Rewinds. If you want some absolute bangers, that's your place to go. So, you've got Monday at 2. The website, because of how he named his show, just has a bracket and the greater than and less than symbol. So he successfully broke the website. That's how much of a nerd Matthew is. And Tuesday at 12, and of course I recommend yours truly on a Saturday at 12. I couldn't really not. Anyway, the time walls are sadly approaching us. The station managers will be at me if I run over by a few minutes, so I'd rather cut it short. For next week, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I might keep it to a slightly more casual style than usual. It's hard to do the full show experience when you're sitting in a comfy chair, with your Kel next to you. It's hard to give that massive feel. So we might bring it down a level until we're back in the studio. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening, and see you next week. Bye. And before we go, I'm really sorry. I audio adjusted all the other jingles. I didn't audio adjust the ending song, so that's probably just blasted some eardrums. Oops. Alright. See ya.